creating a paradise on earth. And your paradise will look very different than mine. But the opening of the Golden Age is really the liberation of people in a composite structure so that they can operate individually and create their own idea of a new paradise. And that takes a long time, and we're at the very, very beginning of that. And so the time periods that we're entering into are very important. It's important to understand, what the Piscean age represents and what the Aquarian age represents, because we're literally at a time when all of these time periods that we've been taught about by our elders are literally imploding upon one another. It's like blowing up into a realm of infinity. And that's good for us. That's good for us because what it means is infinite progress. And people always concern themselves with whether things are good or whether they're bad, but I always look at things like an evolutionary curve. And if you look at an evolutionary curve, it really does not stop going up. And so we're headed into this territory where the implosion of all of these time frames on top of each other allows you to enter into a realm of absolute infinite creation. And this is not some modern metaphysical idea, which most people think it is. This is ancient. We were told this was going to happen 15 and 25,000 years ago, and it's happening today. So that's number 3 on my list. Number 4 on my list, I'm just going to kind of go over this one very loosely. But the next 20 years is actually the further destruction of the banks. The banking structure, not only in the United States of America, but globally. Everybody tells you Rome wasn't built in a day, but it pretty much fell very quickly. And the modern day Rome is the banking structure in the United States of America. You see these trials going on with the head of Goldman Sachs and things like that, but what people don't understand is actually the level of unethical behavior and financial devices that were sold and executed within the last 10 years has actually left most banks in a position where they have no legal claim at all, no legal binding, enforceable claim in any way to nearly all the residential property in the United States of America. People are just paying their mortgages, but they don't have any idea what their banks have actually done, which kind of pools they've sold them into. And I think in the next 2 to 3 years, there will be major court decisions made that will demonstrate to the vast majority of Americans that if you choose to, you can be free from these banks. I mean, if you want to continue to pay them, that's your choice. But they've created all of these monetary systems that are completely legally unenforceable. This is I could spend 2 hours on this subject. I would love to explain to your audience how the minute that they are given a birth certificate, they're actually turned into a bond that's sold on the NASDAQ every single day. And I'm not going to go into that tonight, but it's all a function of a legal system that is based on 2 different structures of law. And yeah, actually, the banks are, we're not going to be able to depend on politicians to divulge this kind of information. It's going to come, really from what we all understand to be kind of like the peanut gallery. But it's real and it's factual and it's true. And the next 20 years is the destruction of the usury system. And the one thing that I would say to your audience, this is my big thing. You need to remember why Jesus Christ literally was put on the cross. You're told it was because of your sins, this and that. Now, I can accept parts of that Christian interpretation, but what you need to remember is that Jesus walked into the temple and overturned the tables of the money changers. And he knew when he did it that there would be ramifications beyond his comprehension. And most people don't understand what kind of transactions were actually going on in the temple, how people were being forced to pay extra interest because they would only use a particular coin due to their religious beliefs, and they were being taken advantage of. But what people need to remember is that Jesus Christ, who is worshipped en masse in the Western world, died overthrowing what was essentially modern bankers. So if people are talking about the rise of Christ consciousness, I suggest that you come to understand how money actually works in this country. And it will take you a good 2 to 3 years to research how these systems actually work. I've already done that work, and there's already millions of people who have done that work, so it's not entirely necessary that everybody do it, but you need to listen to the people who are telling you how the banking structure actually works, because these people are parasites of humanity. They're absolute parasites of humanity, and nobody in this world will be able to deal with economic slavery, even personal slavery, until we deal with the truth of what money actually represents.
All right. Hey, before we continue, let's go to a quick break, if you don't mind.
That'll be fine. Yep.
Yeah, I want to give you a break. You've been talking way too long, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she needs water.
I'm good. All right, go to break.
All right, we will do that. So with this, let us listen to this one.
The following is a quote from A Course in Miracles. You are the work of God.
That's right.
And His work is wholly lovable and wholly loving. This is how a man must think of himself and his heart, because this is what he is. This is a quote from A Course in Miracles. Miracles arise from a mind that is ready for them. By being united, this mind goes out to everyone, even without the awareness of the miracle worker himself. The impersonal nature of miracles is because the atonement itself is one, uniting all creations with their Creator as an expression of what you truly are. The miracle places the mind in a state of grace, the mind that naturally welcomes the host within and the stranger without. When you bring in the stranger, he becomes your brother. Hey you guys, how's it going? This is Ron Corey. Welcome to BlogTalkRadio.com. I really do appreciate your time, your energy, and your participation in showing up tonight. Please do add us as your friend or favorite if you guys have an account, and always do check out my main website at ronalcorey.com. That is RONNELCORRE. We look forward to your next arrival. Take care, be well, be loved, and especially be you.
All right, well, we are wrapping everything up within the last 12 minutes. So, what is your numero uno?
Actually, you know what? Number 5 on my list, I was going to talk about HAARP technology, but I actually that's the big thing that as an oracle I work on every single day. But actually, something happened earlier this afternoon, and I think that that's what I'm going to share with your listeners. And said I was eating my banana for lunch, and I had a visit from the angel Araquiel, and Araquiel is ARAQUIEL,